and they're at rest in a sense, and if they're coming and visiting, you're going to feel a sense of warmness or things like that. That room, a little different. Mm-hmm. You definitely feel like when you walk in there, minutes of meetings, but you could, it was like they knew really feel like they didn't want me to hear it. It was like their voices went lower. You heard even when we were downstairs, right? So I'm excited to see if we got some of that on film because we all heard it, right? We're all downstairs. Thanks, Chris. Sorry, Chris. But we could hear it.
Yeah.
Significantly. Mm-hmm. So, they're still gonna do their things. Like I said, I think that some of this too is like really visual. Just the walls can talk. How I say it. Yeah. Which is pretty. And you've had the Benton family that's been here
generations
after generations. So it really didn't change hands except for once, right? So you have to look at that as, there's no. There definitely, maybe if you can look at the census records or something, but I think there's a young boy, I don't know if he was really ill, I don't know if he died young, but he had felt like health issues. That's when we felt sick. Because I seen him in that room.
Yeah, the very first family that lived here had 11 kids, but only 6 grew to adults. 5 died. And at least 2 of them died in infancy.
Okay.
So they died young.
Okay. That infant may be the one you also heard.
Oh.
Okay. When I went in that room, it was like, young boy, just like, almost felt like a sick room. Mm-hmm. We quarantine someone, or that's kind of defined. I see them on the little boy for a second. Just sad. It's a different time period. We don't have what we have today. Mm-hmm. And then I wonder what we have today is a little bit.
Yeah. No, that's questionable.
Yeah, that's very questionable. But I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty cool place to be, and I think we have some pretty amazing, spirits that do visit when they want to visit their home. But that room's definitely a little different. I would like to see it in the spring on your land because there's definitely some stories. Like I felt like. When you told me that the barn was actually separate from the house, so you could see the house, I'd be interested to kind of see what lingering like in that area too. And now this house doesn't own that anymore, right? This barn's not there anymore. The homes now. Right. Okay. The homes, there's no barn there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like this is like anything else that happened that maybe you have questions about?
Shelly, did you see something? Oh. Shelly, everybody's the wrong name. It's like I'm home and I'm calling every child a different name. Senility. I don't know if I have any specific questions about the house. I know when I'm here, I think the house is, I think that the house was, even though it was a hard time, I feel like this house was a good house. Mm-hmm. I feel like the family loved each other, even though in different time, maybe sterner, but still I feel like there was a lot of love there. And I don't think I don't have any specific questions about the house, Chris.
No, between you and Gail, I got the complete history.
Mm-hmm. Is there Shelby?
I've not heard that name. I don't know my note.
Put it in your notes.
I do have another question.
Mm-hmm.
And this is only because it's the legend.
Okay.
the room right behind you
Mhm.
used to be separate. There's a wall line on
Yeah.
the floor. And that was a birthing room, a sick room, elderly
Mhm.
dying room, that area right there. There's a rumor that, and it could never ever be confirmed because nothing was written down anywhere, that one of the grandsons had come home with smallpox and died there. And they took his body out through the window. It doesn't have anything to do with anything other than it's just a story. And I was just always curious if you could pick up on that ever happening.
Well, there was a
Okay, yeah, and it did happen.
There's a love story attached to it.
right. So there was a girl who was very young
Mhm.
who loved him
Mhm.
and was
This
nursing.
is a true story.
Right, was nursing him because the family, it was so contagious and she loved him and they let her
Nurse them, yeah.
nurse him. And she died like
Here,
here, a couple of
because
weeks
she couldn't go back home.
right after he passed away. So they couldn't be buried together, so they're buried separately
On the property.
on the property.
Okay.
So that's like the big love story, the attraction to this place, you know, if
Well, that's-
anybody's like,
That's your writing on downstairs. This was in the, what time frame?
Revolutionary War,
Okay, because I kept seeing
1700.
17, okay. So when I first came in this room, I don't know if you noticed the light over here, that it tends to flicker.
It does,
Okay,
yeah.
there's a reason for that, not just the faulty wiring. It's because there's been, in that woman, that older woman I was telling you about, went right to the bedside and then she disappeared. She didn't bend over, I just seen her, and it was like, cream, you know, like those,
Skirts.
yeah, nothing fancy, just, I didn't see any bodies here ever since I came in. The only thing how old was the boy?
Oh,
Yeah.
he was young. I think he was like
14?
No, when he died?
Yeah.
No, he was about 28.
but the girl, I think.
The girl was about 18 or 16.
Okay.
Yeah, she was very young.
He was a soldier.
And when I seen that writing, I seen the two things. There definitely was a love.
A love story.
Okay. So, whether that's connected, because I seen a young couple, not, you know, 30s, 40s, you know, I seen young. I was thinking like teens, okay? But then again, sometimes the 20-year-olds look.
Mm-hmm.
I would say women tend to look more older than the men do. So I'm pretty confident, 99% confident that if that's not done, that's another, that was significant love. Okay. The thing with the smallpox going out the window, that is, they would do that, especially if they were superstitious. Because in a sense it was like a plague, like an evil.
Oh, yeah.
So the reason why you would go through the window is so.
Doesn't go through the house.
And your door is always inviting, you know, it's where they'd have rooms, I don't know if you noticed, near doors and things like that, or to keep, you know, bad spirits out, good spirits in. So, you know, going through the window would be a way of them releasing it, and so it doesn't come back into the home. If you go out, that would be,
Makes
would
sense.
be-
Makes sense.
you know, saying, right away, we instead of like, yep, enter the window. So that's not like an odd thing.
Mm-hmm.
To us it is, but back then it wouldn't be.
It makes sense, and they wouldn't want to risk contagion in anywhere else in the house either.
Especially if this was
A walled-off
a
room.
walled off room. It's funny because what you say about this room is like what I felt about that other room.
About the pantry.
Yeah. Yeah, so I might have just been off. But I felt like that was open at some point. It's never been open.
No, not as far as I know, it was probably the original house.
Hmm.
You don't think they kept anybody in the dead of winter who died in there, do you?
Oh God, I don't know. Hopefully not.
I know, with the butter.
I don't know why, with the butter.
With the
but-
butter?
I don't know. If you
Um,
can't bury them in the dead of winter, you can't dig. Oh, that's an awful thought. I don't know, sorry, it just.
She's like, it just came to me.
Yeah.
And now, was this bed isn't the, they
No.
had like those, what the heck were they called? There was a certain kind of bed that you
It was, the beds that they had were made,
like
what was,
slings almost, right?
it was strings underneath
Yeah.
that would hold a hay mattress. But that's not what it is. But that bed there, I think, did belong to Flory, the woman who bought the house. Just not the mattress on top. The mattress on top, I think, is a hay reproduction.
Oh, man.
Sad too. The family who owned the house, the father wouldn't allow them to get married because this was a well-to-do family,
Mhm.
and the son was in the service, and the girl was the daughter of a cobbler, I think, in Holland, and beneath his station.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't allow it, but they allowed her to come in and nurse him who died.
And then,
And
Yeah.
knowing that it's a life
That
sentence,
is, yeah.
because that little girl could never go home again.
Mhm.
Once she was exposed to the smallpox, this house was quarantined, and she couldn't, and she did in fact contract it and die, and so they were buried because they weren't married. The family allowed them to be buried on the same property, but they had to be separated by a carriage path. So one right here, there's the carriage path. Great.
okay, so that's definitely something I'd like to see, because that's where the animals and things would come through to be with the house, right?
Yeah.
Is that door went out?
No,
Or the
it's
front
not.
of the right?
Exactly.
I'd be interested to, because I kept feeling like there's something else going on outside. And that's
Whenever
that.
you're ready, we can go there.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll let you lead this way because I always get lost.
Oh, to the graves?
Yeah.
Isn't that great when they were able to one little family plot in the land?
It's right there.
Yeah, I'm pulling up my flashlight.
Just pull the door shut, please.
We have time? Oh, here. Is that hay? That's the name though.
Elisha?
Yeah, it's not, I thought it was Benjamin. Remember the name before that? It was E-L, I think. E-L-I. Remember that? Does anybody remember that? Jen?
The ELI, you said, yeah.
Right? That's it. It is them that I've seen the love story. It is them. How cool is that? So we're gonna go back down and look at that before we leave. Okay. So just take a picture of that because I'm like, we only seen the EIL, right? And I couldn't make out
Yeah.
the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then it said Ben. I thought it was Benjamin. So it's them. They wrote on the thing. That's so cool. That's crazy. Oh my god.
You can take some pictures of that if you want, Sherry.
I have a migraine, don't mind me.
A migraine?
Yeah.
Can somebody take a picture of this? Because I'm like challenged. Yeah, that's here on. There we go. Do you want to see hers?
Yeah. I feel like hers is like. Is it that way near the tree? Like in between the two trees?
It's hard, right?
It's far away.
Okay, it's on the other side.
No, my
here.
head.
See, this is the break in the stone wall
Came back.
is the carriage house. Was the carriage house. Here's her.
Interesting. Nobody else is there on this one?
Not that I know of, not that's documented. Not that's documented. We're not, that's just a memorial stone for them. Yeah.
You got pills, sure you could take, or
No, I didn't. I didn't say anything.
really?
I felt like those two were buried between one tree, but there's multiple trees
Yeah.
in that line. I felt like they were in like a straight line.
Let's go into the kitchen to try to dry your feet
Okay.
because of the wood here.
These old houses, I'm like, I would totally could live in one of them only 5 feet.
Right.
It was one of like those that were really tall.
Okay. I forgot to charge the whole day.
Yeah,
Basement?
basement. Let's just look at that one more time. Maybe we get a better, you know what I mean? Just to see it again.
I'm kind of numb.
I know.
Hold the camera, you can see it really good through night vision.
Oh yeah. You can see them cut in there. Go that way.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Remember I seen the GEM. It's right there. Yeah, that's their names.
There's just no light.
I left my phone. Of course, I'll leave my phone in the case.
You put the light on there. Yeah. Okay, I thought that was Travis, T-R-A-V, but it's not B-E-N-T-O-N. Loves, L-O-V-E.
Maybe they wrote it down here so the parents would
Oh,
notice.
yeah, look. That could go, see, G-E-M-E-M-A. How'd you spell her name?
Jemima.
G. You had a good day, yeah. Oh, J. Okay, yeah. J-E-M. I-M-I.
Oh, sorry, I moved it.
It's okay. Okay, this would be J. I think the E's missing. M. I. And you can't really make this out, it might have just faded. And it looks like an A. You see it right there?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just faded over time.
Yeah.
Because you remember if they got like moisture or anything like that, that would eventually fade. I'm curious what they wrote that with.
Charcoal.
Oh yeah, from the, taking a piece of the
Singed
wood.
wood. And
Yep, when it's still, because that's definitely, if you can feel that, is that, oh no. It's not even like burnt in, it's just the,
yeah, written on.
yeah. And then over time with the heat down here, just kind of baked it on. If that's even possible. But it's preserved. That is definitely love. That's amazing.
Yeah, it
It
is.
looked like they tried writing something else. I don't know if it was dates. Wasn't there something over here?
Right here, I think.
Yeah, I think that. This is the big significance. It looks like there's a little something, like, written there. They wrote it right on the beam, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they were just.
Right?
They were like, we won't let our parents know.
Yeah.
Like when you were back in high school and you'd carve it on the desk.
Yeah.
Well, that's when they had desk.
That's crazy. So it's when he came back from war he had smallpox?
Yes. That's why he
Which
got
is-
released from the war.
Yeah, because the feeling I got, like, what that was like, like, when you're, like, devoting your love to someone, like that. I don't know how to explain it, but.
Yeah, she
good
was.
love.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? Like your first love, like.
Teenage love? High school?
No, but like sincere, like.
You always think that first one is it.
What?
You always think that first one is it.
Yeah. Yeah, like just.
It's all encompassing and they're young.
Yeah.
And to make it even more attractive is that their parents wouldn't allow them.
Which makes them want it even more.
Want it more.
That's definitely their name.
It is?
Yes, I mean, did you take good video of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I'm
would
like,
be
what
pretty cool.
What would they like write that with? And it's definitely like a charcoal or
It's
something
charcoal
from
probably from the fire.
from the fire.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's so cool.
Yeah, it looks like
And I thought it was
Batten-
Benjamin Love's.
Jemima.
Yeah, but when I first saw it, because it looked like an L, it's actually a J. How she spells her name, when you look at the way she spells her name, and then you go back and look at that, you see, I mean, because love is clearly right between the two, and I thought it was Benjamin, but it's Benton. So I thought it was like Benjamin Benton, but it's Benton.
Aww.
Yeah, and it looks like there was like a little
Did you
doodle. I
picture?
can't make out what that is. That they
Which
might have
ones?
wrote like, you know, back in the day they would write like little like love sonnets, like there's
Yes.
something else kind of, I just can't figure